Episode 208's a big milestone. I'm now 20% of the way through my project to catalog all of the Famicom games. We're 1/5 of the way there. And for such a monumentous occasion, we have Dynamite Bowl. Now you might think that a bowling game on the Famicom might not be worth playing, and that's a bit unfair. Because when you actually sit down and play Dynamite Bowl, you'll find out that it's an awful bowling game all on its own. Seriously, I wasn't expecting much, and this game fell way below my expectations. Japan does have some bowling culture. There was a bit of a bowling fad in the 60s and early 70s, and the collapse of that was a big factor in why Nintendo started making video games. The developer on this one is the mysterious Soft Vision International. They're known to have developed about 5 games in their lifespan, all of which are things like simple sports games. Nobody can identify another game that they make until the early 90s, so it's likely that they were a software company that dipped their toes in video games, or they were a work-for-hire company, making games that other people put their names on. As for Dynamite Bowl, it's bowling, kind of. From the main menu, you can select what lane you want to bowl in. The manual claims that there's variations between the lanes, but I didn't see any difference, not even visually. You can play up to 5 players, swapping off controllers, though since it's just bowling, I didn't bother doing any of that. You pick a face, and you pick a weight for your ball. When you get to your lane, press left or right to position yourself. The spin meter is constantly swinging left to right, so hit A to freeze that, and then hit A again to stop the power meter. The weight of the ball and the power meter determine how much spin affects that throw, but that's the only real variable here. With the lightest ball thrown with the lightest touch, pins still go flying, knocking down everything around them. The game seems to have very narrow deterministic physics on the pins. You're not going to see a lot of variation in the results. You'll have 2 pins standing at the edge, or 4 pins standing along a row. I didn't see a single split the whole time I was playing. There didn't seem to be any variation based on power, and I even saw throws where the ball should have knocked over some pins where it didn't, apparently because that was the pattern the game had already determined. But I'm getting into the nitty-gritty details there. Even from the broader view of someone who isn't looking into those fine details, it's hard to play Dynamite Bowl. The perspective is all askew, so you don't have a great way to line up your shot. You can't line yourself up with the arrows on the floor, and the perspective is just way too steep to know where it's going. Yes, you can practice and get better, but why would you want to? There's a second mode available in Dynamite Bowl, and it's actually worse than the first. On the title screen it's just Game B, but the manual calls it Darts. In that mode, your goal is to score exactly 500 points. You don't start scoring at all until you've gotten a strike, and then after that you get points based on the pins you knock down. Now it's not 1 point per pin, each pin has an assigned point value 1 through 10. This is the kind of game that works with darts because you can easily aim at one section of the board. Bowling, on the other hand? Even if you have exceptional control, the values that you can go for are pretty limited. You can't get 1 point, for example. So what happens is you bowl until you get over 500 points, and then your throws take away points until you're under 500 again, and then you have to shoot for 500 points once more. It's a recipe for misery. I don't think it was likely that anyone was going to go back and want to play Dynamite Bowl. Even if it was a decent bowling game, today it's just going to be something people get to check a box on their list. So maybe it doesn't matter a whole lot that Dynamite Bowl is a bad bowling game. But this 1/5 of the way through project's all about finding out that these games that would just be forgotten actually are forgotten for a reason.